Howdy. I'm Roger Williams from Texas, a Christian conservative, pro-life, Second Amendment, grassroots taxpayer, like every one of you. I believe marriage is between a man and a woman, and that no federal funding should ever be seen by Planned Parenthood. I represent Main Street America. I represent Main Street America. It's Main Street taxpayers, like all of you. I'm making decisions based on fairness, family values, limited government, strong defense, lower taxes, quality education, and conservative judges. Helping me get there is pretty simple. I'm reading the Constitution. The Constitution as it is written, it's not living and breathing, Nancy Pelosi. It is what it is. I'm listening to all of you. I'm sticking with my conscience, and I'm reading the Bible every single day. And I can tell you I haven't made a decision yet I regret. Now, I'll tell you what. I speak for Main Street America. And the problem I have right now, I'm mad as heck at Barack Obama. He's going all over the world apologizing for America. What he needs to be doing is apologizing to Americans. He needs to be apologizing for why we have the highest tax rates in the world. He needs to apologize why we have health care that is unworkable. He needs to apologize why we have no energy policy. He needs to apologize why he's dismantled our military, the greatest military in the history of the world. He needs to apologize for that. He needs to apologize why we're about hundreds of thousands of kids dropping out of the 9th grade every year. They're losing hope in America. That should never happen. And he should apologize for the $19 trillion debt he continues to put us in. So here's the deal. What he needs to be doing is he needs to be apologizing to us why we have no tax plan, why we have no energy plan. He needs to apologize for all that. He needs to apologize to us when he says the economy's great, why we have 76% of the people in America say they're living paycheck to paycheck. He needs to apologize for that. Why do we have 47 million people on food stamps? Why do we have 48 million people between the ages of 18 and 64 haven't worked one day the last 12 months? He needs to apologize for that. And he needs to apologize for 15% of the people in this country in total poverty in America. Are you kidding me? That is a tragedy. He needs to apologize for all that. But what do we need to do about it? We need to make sure that we elect conservatives in November of 16. We need to decide, are we going to be sheep or are we going to be shepherds? Are we going to be pretenders or are we going to be contenders? How about being students of the game, or maybe we ought to be playing the game? What we got to keep from happening is we got to keep from happening that he creates a country and Hillary Clinton creates a country of 300 million victims as opposed to 300 million patriots. We have to understand, if you go back in history to the winter of 1778, when George Washington pulled those troops out of Valley Forge, they left barefoot on the ice. And you move forward in American history, we had brothers killing brothers in the Civil War. We had 30% unemployment during the Depression. Millions, over several millions of best and brightest young men and women we had got injured or killed in world wars. And then we had 9/11. And each time that happens, America has stood up and said, I'm going to make it better. I firmly believe this is our generation's Valley Forge. We have to get it right, not only for ourselves, our kids, and all future generations. Winston Churchill told us in 1943, in every man or woman's life, there comes a moment when you're tapped on the shoulder to do something great. What a shame it would be for that tap to come, you not be ready for that moment of greatness. President Bush told us in September of 9/12, we will not falter, we will not fail. We have been tested. We will pass this test. And Secretary Bob Gates told me one day, he said, Roger, sometimes you have to plant a tree you never stand under. And we all know what 1 Corinthians says. It tells us we have to lay a foundation, set a cornerstone in our life. And Luke tells us 6:38, a good measure will be given to you, pressed down, shaken together, put into your lap, for the measure you give will be the measure you get back. And as conservatives, we need to quit trying to predict the future. We need to go out there today and invent the future. That's what we're all about. So let me just close by saying this. And tomorrow, look in the mirror. When you get up tomorrow morning, look in the mirror and tell me who you see. Do you see George Washington? Do you see Thomas Jefferson? Do you see Margaret Thatcher? Do you see Ronald Reagan? If you do, we're going to win. If you don't, we're going to lose. And go back to Ephesians. Ephesians, the armor of God, tells us, put your helmet on. Put your breastplate on, put your buckle on and your boots on, and raise your sword to the enemy and fight like heck. That's where we are today. We need to do that. So I would just simply say in closing, get on your horse. Buckle up, saddle up, suck it up. Go be Paul Revere, and let's make sure conservatives are elected and lead this country in November of 2016. Thank you very much.